one has to wonder how he went from an island to a rocket base. Anyways, welcome back to some Mamie Rolls Advance. I am Jordan and I'll be your not-so-ecstatic gamer. Sorry about that, Ryan. Anyways, in this episode, these are pretty much going to be the final zones of the entire game itself. You got the Egg Rocket Zone, you got the Cosmic Angel Zone, and of course you got the X Zone. And yes, I did say the names, but why do I even care? Just names. There's not much to worry about anyways. What was there about a rocket zone? Well, the one thing you notice right now is that the timer is actually going down. If that timer reaches 0, then you will lose a life by time over. The timer will increase each time you get to a new part of the stage, aka when you reach the new part of the rocket, that just falls up before time. You'll know by checkpoint. At least you know by a brief stop in the game in order for it to play a cutscene. That's when you know that your timer will be reset to 5 minutes. Speaking of 5 minutes, I will say this right now. The zone is pretty long. So pretty damn long with so many bunnies. And because if you screw up, you will lose time. And time is something you really do not want to lose here. Because if you waste too much time, then you're going to go ahead and be left behind, and you will lose a life. So, good thing I know where I'm going thanks to practice. Practice really does make perfect, does it? So much so that I even had to practice to get a Chaos Emerald, and it wasn't that bad either. Though I am a little worried about some things, like, of course, the major thing right now, of course, the major thing that I'm mostly worried about at this point is not getting the Chaos Emerald. It actually is getting to it. Sure, getting the Chaos Emerald, the final one, by the way, is also kind of hard, but I also managed to do it in this recording. Anyway, so I've got nothing much to worry about. Except the timer. The timer is one thing I'd have to worry about. If you want to listen to more of that music, then you may as well go ahead and set at your own time. As far as I'm concerned, the music is pretty neat in this zone, especially in the next zone. I think one of my friends likes that track, and I think it's his favorite track in the entire game. Though I think I mostly like the Egg Rocket Zone just because of how peaceful it sounds, even though you're trying to catch up to a rocket in order for you to head up to space. Speaking of space, how many times Sonic and his friends ever went to space just to fight Eggman? I know, it's a funny thing to think about. Especially since Dr. Eggman's a man of science. And as a man of science, Eggman must love his space. Space. Of course, in every single Sonic game, you have to go to space. If you do not go to space, well then, what exactly are you doing? Well, except Sonic 1. In Sonic 1, there is no space in Sonic 1. The closest you ever get up to is, I don't know, the mountains, the city, the power plant, I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, you don't go in space in Sonic 1. And no, the special stages don't count as space either. That's something completely different. By space, I mean outer space, not some, space nonsense stuff, Let's try not to think too much about that. Over there's the wrong way. If you go the wrong way, then of course you're gonna lose a lot of time just for getting back up. And boy, am I sucking right now. Well, actually, it's not just that. It's some of the placements. Some of the placements are absolute BS. Really, some of the placements are indeed absolute BS. You will notice that next zone, or at least you noticed that the last time I played this game. Or, actually, what I meant was Angel Island Zone. at the beginning of it, a boom, a robot in front of your face. Also, that's considered pretty cheap. Thank goodness for Amy's hammer. Even more cheapness. Again, I have to be thankful for Amy's hammer for it to be able to do this. I'm not even sure if Sonic and Tails will be able to get over there, but I know for a fact that Knuckles will be able to get over there thanks to his fist. I think in this case, I think Amy has some attributes to the power of Knuckles and the speed of Sonic. And by that I mean Amy's ability to grind. Yes, Amy, we are now in space. Technically. Anyways, this is one of my favorite parts of the level, just because of how fast-paced it goes. As you can see right now. And of course you'll be able to see the space. The music just also really fits. I really do love this track. Though I'm not gonna love it to the point of actually gonna be able to hum it. You can do that yourself. Or better yet, listen to the track yourself. The track is called Egg Rocket. You'll be able to look it up on YouTube. Or better yet, you can probably be able to. You know what I mean. BS Spikes or BS. And speaking of some interesting news, I know it's gonna be a little off topic, but Pokemon X and Y were recently announced. And I know it's for many Pokemon fans out there, especially me. It seems to be a little soon, especially after the release of Pokemon Black and White 2. I mean, come on. It's gonna be roughly a year. At least I think it's gonna be roughly a year since Black and White 2 was released in the Americas. But then again, the time period is different. The one thing I'm actually happy about for Pokemon X and Y being released is that they're being released at the same time in Japan. In this case, the game's gonna be released. The game's gonna be released at the US around the time that the game's gonna be released at the same time at Japan. At least that's what I heard from the Pokemon Direct video from Iwata himself. Anyways, that's one thing I'm looking forward to. But I'm sure the things that most people got worried about, of course, minus the stuttering. There's of course the fact of the ways the starters look. When you think of a new Pokemon game, the first thing that comes up has to be the way the starters look. And a lot of people love to be judgmental about this one. Or something. I don't know. Anyways, that part is passed by has to be the hardest part of the stage you're able to get through, but I managed to get through it. I love how the game calls it Act 1, when clearly the next zone is Cosmic Angel Zone, aka Egg Rocket Act 2. Which is also funny because it's called Cosmic Angel Zone Act 2. I'm not really sure about that one, but Eggman's gone all techno up in his base. Techno base. That's some foreshadowing right there for the sequel of this game. Sonic Advance 2. Anyways, getting the Chaos Emerald here is probably going to be a bit of a pain. Then again, finding all the special stages is generally a pain in a game such as this. Especially since there's only like one special spring to get to. And if you miss that spring, then you have to go through the entire level again. So that wasn't that much of a problem. Especially since the fact that I was able to use Amy Rose. Now this next part is a bit... well, we have to be careful here. Of course the spike and there's one of those annoying enemies. Or in this case, for you guys, Badnik. Because, you know, they're made from animals, and therefore they count themselves as a bit of a Badnik. Though I'm pretty sure in today's day and age, well, yeah, that was a screw up, but at least I'm able to get the checkpoint. That made me happy a bit. But I'm better off dying anyways than just repeating the level because the Chaos Emerald was not far from here anyways. As you can see, like in right now. See? There's a spring. And here comes the most trollish special stage in the game. 100 rings. Let's do this. Now why do I say trollish special stage? Of course, minus all these bombs. You notice those special yellow rings that you know, those giant yellow rings that you do in order for you to do a trick, in order for you to get a lot of rings? Well, here's where the issue comes in. Here's where the issue comes in. It's surrounded by bombs. Or at least the bombs are on top of it, and therefore there's really, if you want to get the rings from there, then it's gonna be hard. I really don't know myself how to get to those rings, but I'm fine with that because I was able to get 200 rings anyways. Oh, yeah, and this thing is pretty hard, I gotta say. So if you get hit by a bomb at least once, then you are probably not going to be able to complete the special zone. At least I got that continue, just in case I run out of lives. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the next part coming up right here. You really need to be careful. Bombs next to rings. You know it's never a good sign. But we have collected all the Chaos Emeralds right now. I know that was generally annoying, but at least I collected every single Chaos Emerald. And no, I am not going to become Super Amy, nor am I going to be playing as Supersonic, because remember, I'm playing as Amy Rose here, not Sonic the Blue Hedgehog. Oh no, screw Sonic, we're playing 100% as Amy. Sonic can go ahead and, well, if you want to see the true ending of this game, you can look it up yourself, or play the game yourself. But notice for me, I am not going to be playing at I'm not going to be playing at the extra zone, because that zone has to be generally considered, well, in my perspective, it's one of those poorly designed Special Sonic stages. Especially considering that you know that Supersonic can fly. Oh, but the Supersonic in this game, especially in the zone, it's pretty disorganizing in a way. I gotta say, there has to be an epic way to get to a boss. And speaking of this boss is quite a bit of a pain. Don't want to get used to the patterns to be able to take care of this boss easily. Look at Eggman go on those tight ropes. Now, the main reason why this machine is a pain, at least this Eggman boss in general, is if you lose your rings, they'll fall off. No, they will not bounce, because technically there's a bottomless pit down there. Well, not really bottomless pit or say, but yeah, if you lose your rings, they will fall off, and you'll probably get into like what, 1, 2. So if you lose your rings at this point of the boss, then collect all you can. Make sure you keep at least 1 ring for this boss. Otherwise, you'll have a tough time. But yeah, this boss has been defeated. And therefore, you have an excellent time. Oh, but no, we're not done yet. We have to get to the final zone, which is called, I already said it, the X Zone. I don't know about you, but it sounds kind of funny. Oh, and here are some drawbacks. Like, the first boss from Sonic 1, where Eggman uses that disco wrecking ball. Look at that thing go. We must disco. Up, too late. I also like it how they managed to remake the theme into Sonic Advance. If you want to listen to it, then you have to listen to it on your own, because there's no way in hell I'm going to be waiting at the boss just to play the entire song or track. Anyways, these bosses take roughly about 4 hits. Normally, Eggman bosses take about 8 hits, but for these kind of boss rush situations, only about 4. As you know, it's a boss rush. I am sorry that you'll not be able to hear the entire music track, but in all honesty, you will listen to the tracks without any of these sound effects, then you may as well listen to it at your own time. I think it'll probably be worth it. Ooh, Eggman is mad this time. He destroyed his own machines, and thus he has to bring out a super machine, which... I can't help but wonder. The machine looks like it's recycled from somewhere. And by that I mean there are some aspects from previous machines. But other than that, here's the final boss of this game, if you're not playing a Sonic, with all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Yep, it's Eggman in that machine of his, which allows him to switch what weapon he wants to use, whether he wants to attack, whether he wants to use a tackle attack, the arm, a laser, or a ball. But other than that, once you get used to the patterns, again, like most Eggman bosses, pretty easy. What am I saying? I tried this as a kid, so... Oh, hi Sonic. You can see that you're using the tornado. You know, the tornado before it was exploded at Sonic Adventure, aka the Red Tornado. The classic tornado. Why, thank you, Sonic Advance. I'll cherish that moment. Anyways, I think that's it for Sonic Advance with Amy Rose. Like I said, I'm not going to be playing as Super Sonic in this game because, really, there's no point. I mean, I did say I am going to be fully playing this game with Amy Rose. If there's no way you can get to the extra zone with Amy Rose, then I'm basically going to say, screw it. But if you want to see that Super Sonic stage yourself, then feel free to. So you probably will be able to see the reason why I don't like that special state, extra zone very much. Other than that, what game is next, you asked? You have to figure that one out yourselves. You know, speaking of next Let's Play, there is one game that I really do want to Let's Play, but I haven't played through it all the way yet. So, in order for me to actually play through that game, I'm gonna go ahead and do a Let's Play of another game. With something fun at the end. What game is that, you ask? Again, you have to wait and see. Though my 1 year anniversary Let's Play, special one, it's gonna have to come as a side project, I guess, because I haven't played it all the way through yet. But other than that, I will see you guys on the next Let's Play, so I'll see you guys then.